God, Gear Up's so important. Gear Up is so important because of the opportunities that it creates. Gear Up is about more than just promoting higher education. Gear Up is about exposure. You can't aspire to things that you don't know exist. So yes, I can go out as a Gear Up coordinator and I can do all of the ACT prep and I can do, college application support, financial aid support. I can do all of those things all day long. But if I can't inspire a child to pursue something, to find what they're passionate about, then all of those other things are irrelevant. So for me, Gear Up's the most important thing that we can do is take children who otherwise are very much in a little bubble. They see what's immediately around them and have very few opportunities to see anything else, and get them out into the weirdest, wackiest, most unusual experiences possible, because you never know what's going to spark a child's passion. And if that means that they discover they want to be an astronaut because I took them to the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, great. If they're like, I don't want to be an astronaut, but engineering the rocket sounds cool, even better. So you just never know. And you gotta try to get out there and do as much as possible so that they have the opportunity to find out. My name is Taylor Ray Dodge, and I'm the Gear Up coordinator for Swain County Schools. How long I've been with Gear Up is a little bit of a complicated question because I've officially been acting as Gear Up coordinator since 2020, but I've been with Gear Up for decades because I started as a Gear Up student in middle school in Madison County, and have been with Gear Up in my heart and TRIO programs ever since. There are a lot of parallels between my experience as a Gear Up student and my experience as a coordinator. I'm known for doing these really in-depth summer travel experiences. It's one of the kind of characteristics of how I run the program in my district. And I can tell you that the very first travel experiences I planned were taken almost activity for activity from trips that I went on with Gear Up and with Upward Bound in middle and high school, right down to the destinations, Atlanta, Huntsville. These are places that someone took me and got me out of that little bubble and let me see a little piece of the world. And because those were so impactful for me and so memorable for me, that's where I was like, I need to get kids out there because I remember the effect that those experiences had. I have parents, throughout this turbulent time, who've really advocated on behalf of the program because of the impact that it's had for their students. And that just really warms my heart because I can say all day long what an impact I think I'm having. But to have parents who are willing to kind of go to bat for you and able to articulate the difference that you've made for their child is really powerful. She says, I'm a single mom of 2 teenagers who have benefited from the Gear Up program. Over the last 4 years, this program has helped my children develop life skills on annual summer trips. They are now more independent, able to talk to adults constructively, politely, and also have challenging conversations. These trips have offered them the opportunity to tour and visit colleges that they otherwise would have not been able to see. It's allowed them to get a better understanding of what kind of colleges they need to apply for during senior year. Her daughter's a junior now and has been traveling with me since 6th grade. I can remember her very first trip with me. Her mom forced her to go on it. She was super shy. We were doing a high ropes course, leadership development thing. She was literally in tears, did not want to do it, was so afraid of heights. And I told her, I said, you just get up there and just try it once. Just try it once, and if you hate it, you can come back down. And she did. She got up there, she got about 4 steps out from the platform, totally panicked, came back down. I told her I was so proud of her for even trying. She spent the rest of that 2 hours sitting on the ground with me, watching the others. And then every year since, I've seen her grow in confidence, and they're just seeing her own growth, is a perfect example of the kind of impact. Another young man, and this one, really hit close to home. He graduated a couple years ago, and he had experienced homelessness through most of his high school journey, and he had never actually finished a school year in the same school that he started. because they would move so frequently due to evictions or any kind of things. Well, when he came into our school district, he and his mother had finally found like secure housing. The homelessness was over for the time being. It was the beginning of senior year in a new school. Somehow through 3+ years of homelessness, he'd maintained a 3.8 GPA. Academics was very important to him. His mother always encouraged him to go to college. And then she suddenly passed away in October of senior year. And that was absolutely devastating to him because there was a single parent household. He had nobody. You know, he'd lived in this community for 2 months, and all of a sudden he's alone in the community. And so Gear Up really became like kind of his place in school, and really became kind of one of my personal missions to try to help him fulfill what his mother's dream was, for him to be able to go to college. I'm happy to say that he is thriving at UNCG. He's finishing his 2nd year there. Has plans to be an archaeologist in the Middle East and study abroad, and you know, just so glad. I mean, he had such obstacles to overcome, but he needed that one person. You know, his one person passed away tragically. He needed somebody to fill that void, and Gear Up did that for him.